Hey, morning, Shamla.
Hey, morning, Carrie. How are
Oh,
things?
great, great, great. It's great to hear from you. How are things with you?
Things good for the while. Can't complain.
All right, wonderful. Well, I know you are going to be speaking about the initiatives by the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, so I'm going to leave you to it.
Great. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamla. Well, as you may know, last week we celebrated or commemorated International Day for Persons with Disability. But here on TTT Live now, weekly, we actually, celebrate and make aware, make light of persons with disability, the community, stakeholders, etc. So today, post I guess post commemoration, we have Sharon Rogers, Mrs. Sharon Rogers, who is the director for the Disability Unit of the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. And our interpreter for today is Nicole Paul. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Shamla.
How are
Thanks
you
for
doing?
having me this morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, so I know different leaders would have, I guess would have a whole new vision, but they would have uh they would have their own thought process as the end goal. How has the disability unit objectives or initiatives changed since the appointment of Minister Donna Cox?
The Disability Affairs Unit continues to provide its overall objective, that is to work towards ensuring full participation and inclusion of persons with disabilities within society. So I do appreciate the continuity that is happening and right now, and we continue to advocate for the rights of persons with disabilities, plan programs to empower persons with disabilities, network with government agencies, mass media, NGOs, international and regional organizations, and we continue to do research that is done on a limited capacity. We continue to raise awareness and sensitize persons on disability affairs. So I do appreciate us continuing along the line that we have been going. What I have noticed, and it's not peculiar to the Disability Affairs Unit, but I've noticed a difference since this new minister came, a difference in monthly reporting to the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. I have noticed a new format. There is a new format, and it seemed to be results oriented.
Nice, that is great. In terms of collaboration, right? Having that intimate relationship with the community in terms of, how much people how much people in the disability community need access to grants, etc., social services, social support, etc. How in terms of that intimacy, how has collaboration in terms of with other ministries, in terms of diversity and inclusion initiatives, are you all collaborating?
Yes, we have been collaborating with other ministries. Actually, sometimes ministries reach out to us and sometimes we reach out to them as well. They reach out to us to get support on their programs. They reach out to us to review documents to make sure that there is a disability perspective as well. And we reach out to them in order to implement some programs as well. Right now, the main event that is happening is the implementation of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and the National Policy on Persons with Disability as well. And we have a cabinet appointed committee named Interagency Committee, and we have a number of government ministries represented on that committee as we try to promote the implementation of the policy. and the convention as well. So right now, this is the area we are collaborating closely on right now.
Nice. And when this is implemented, when based on your experience, how would that impact the community?
Well, it will greatly impact the community because one of the great problems right now is accessibility, and another one is equality. Persons with disability are discriminated against from time to time because they do not have all the access to all the facilities in society. So when we make society more accessible, whether it's in the education system, health system, housing, ministry, works and transport, labor, etc., persons will be able to reach out and get the assistance they need, which will empower them to live fully in society.
Nice. And in terms of collaboration with private sector, is that something to speak of in terms of private sector coming to you guys to, like in terms of helping you and you helping them and they helping you become more inclusive? Is that a collaboration being done?
Yes, there is a collaboration, mainly with the organizations that provide services for persons with disabilities. We invite them to stakeholder forums, to consultations. We use them for sensitization, etc. Right now, we are sensitizing this week. Sensitization for the staff of Nestle started. So we are working on that right now. Yesterday, there was sensitization. Wednesday, we expect more sensitization. We are working to help those staff, the 10 departments at the, what's the name? Nestle's, to learn how to interact with persons with disabilities because they are planning to employ persons with disabilities.
It's great. What about involvement of persons with disability in terms of policy making, in terms of these collaboration, right? How involved do we are? How involved are persons with disability itself in helping determine these policies and these initiatives?
Well, we try to involve them as much as possible because one of the objectives of our national policy is to involve persons with disability in decision making in our society. And it is said that nothing without those persons with disabilities. So on our interagency committee, we have not only the government ministries, we have representatives from organizations that provide services for persons with disabilities, and we also have a couple persons with disability, actually a few persons with disability who sit on the committee. So they are having an opportunity to let their voices be heard, to make an input, to make sure that they represent not only themselves, but the community of persons with disabilities.
So in terms of the near future, to close off, right? In terms of the near future, what do we expect in terms of programs and initiatives that will help persons with disability, especially during this COVID time, to help in terms of housing, etc., in these collaborations, right? What do we expect from the ministry in terms of projects, plans, and initiatives to be, I guess, made public?
The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, when it comes to disability affairs, has at least 3 strategic projects that you probably have been hearing about for a while. They are still on the agenda. We are still looking towards implementing. They are the National Enrichment Center. We have it right now in operation as a resource location, but hopefully in 2021, we are thinking that we could have that center up and running. We also have the community therapeutic project Services project, which is an initiative with the Ministry of Health. We are still in the early stages yet, even though we have been talking about it, but that is one that we have to work towards achieving as well, and that will provide therapeutic services in health centers so that persons wouldn't have to wait long period of time for appointments at the general hospital or do it privately. And we also have our national register for persons with disabilities. The community has been asking for that for a number of years. Hopefully we will have that implemented next year. But I do want to appeal to the community of persons with disabilities when that time comes and we call upon you to register and give the information that you step up and provide it, because it cannot be calling for a register and not provide the information for us. So we look forward to continue working with the community of persons with disabilities to establish that register.
Nice. I want to say thank you. And I am sure when you're ready to implement that register, have it going, I guess I would have you back in terms of inviting persons to see how, different avenues in which we can have that register developed. Great.
Shamla, may I interject here, please?
Sure.
One other thing of importance that I should mention is that there is a collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank, which is offering disability assessment in 4 borrowing member countries, including Jamaica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and Trinidad and Tobago. So we are expecting to have that assessment done next year. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services is the lead ministry responsible, but UWI has been contracted to do the research. So I think that is very significant, so we can see what applies right now and what are the gaps in the system so that we can make provision to fill them.
Magnificent. That is great. That is actually great. You really instilled upon us, I guess, things that we did not know about. And I want to say thank you so much. And definitely we would have you back to talk about these initiatives individually. That will definitely be a plan of mine next year. And Nicole Paul, I want to say thank you so much for interpreting this morning. And guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique, Not Different. Until next week, be good, do good. Bye, guys. Bye, Sharon.